let's go ahead and move on to, I guess, news. We got a lot of stuff to cover as far as a lot of stuff happened these past 2 weeks and this week in particular. Starting off with the Nintendo Direct. So I guess Sony and Nintendo was like, yeah, let's both do it a Thursday.
I begin to think them niggas are in cahoots with each other, bro. There's a lot of games that's coming off of the Switch and PlayStation accordingly, so together.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't know.
That was like, hey, let's just intermingle. I do like the joke that people were saying that this is basically the farming simulator direct. They announced a lot.
The curse that Stardew Valley put on the gaming community will not go unpunished, bro.
They announced a lot of farming sims during this direct. But I mean, it's like one of those things. It's like yeah, I can understand the memes, but like it's something to look forward to because I at least try to do like one farming sim a year. Like this year I did Room Factory 5. Last year was Story of Seasons, Olive Town or something like that. So like, you know,
didn't the Disney one get released soon? About to get released?
No, yeah, this one is already out and it's free on Xbox Game Pass, PC and the console. So shout out to that. But yeah, I mean, this is a great direct. I mean, they started off with a banger for me. I was like, oh shit. Oh snap! New Fire Emblem, let's go!
They just throwing Fire Emblems. Shout out to Fire Emblem becoming a staple game for that company, bro.
Oh man, when you hear about the history of it too, it's crazy because it literally it was an intelligent system. I forgot which company, but they almost like it was like a bankrupt situation where it's like Awakening, which was the one on the 3DS, still my favorite Fire Emblem game. Fucking love that game. But Awakening was going to be the last Fire Emblem game because they're like, this is it. Like, if this doesn't do well, no more Fire Emblem. But the game sold extremely well, and it was because of Awakening that Fire Emblem is where it is right now. It's popping, so it's cool to see it. I will say that like, this game got leaked because you know everything Nintendo gets leaked. This game got leaked like I don't know if it was a year, but it was like a while ago. There were like these screenshots and stuff. People are naming the main character Colgate-chan because he has like the blue and red hair. He looks like Colgate. But like it was some screenshots that came out and people were like, "Nah, this isn't real. This isn't real." And then it's like this direct was kind of like, no, it's actually real. I will say that it's kind of refreshing in a sense, cause not refreshing, but with Three Houses was definitely, in terms of like all of the recent, like if you count the 3DS, so Awakening, Fates, Echoes, and then Three Houses, like it was a shift as far as like the tone, cause if you want to argue semantics, Awakening and Fates was kind of like anime-ish, but this felt like super anime compared to Three Houses. Like Three Houses definitely has this anime stuff, but it kind of felt like a little bit grounded when it came to like the wars and shit like that. But I kind of like the fact that they just said, fuck it, we're just gonna like do some anime stuff, like with the whole like niggas got stand powers. You can have heroes from previous Fire Emblem games. They showed Mark, they showed Sigurd, where they were like ghost. You equip a ring and then they fight alongside you. So I'm really interested to see how that mechanic works, and then also you can fuse as well. It's also nice to see that they're kind of going back to this because Fates did this where the main character that you were controlling was they changed it to Divine Dragon, but it's a race called the Manichees, which are basically like people who can turn into dragons. So it's kind of cool that we have another main character as far as like this recent line of Fire Emblem games that like has ties to like being a dragon, because dragons are a huge thing in the Fire Emblem universe. So that's pretty cool. It looks interesting. I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm glad we got. That's one thing I can say that I love about whenever they announce Fire Emblem is that you're off top's always getting a release date. Like there is no teaser trailer. There is no like. There's literally just like this, because this is literally we didn't get no teaser for Engage. This is the very first trailer we got, and they're like, it's coming out January. So there you go. It's like that's one thing I could appreciate about Fire Emblem titles is like when you get that trailer, you getting an announced date. So
shit, Nintendo does that a lot too, though. They really do come out and just say, "Here you go."
yeah, the game's coming out. Well, except for Zelda.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas have to wait for that. But yeah, so that was a big. They started off swinging. That's another thing that you're gonna notice when we talk about the Sony. They started off swinging. A couple of other announcements that stuck out to me in particular. Because some people, it was kind of funny because some people were mad that they didn't get Pokemon. It's like
Pokemon don't they get their own thing too?
Yeah, but they already had their own thing.
Yeah, and a trailer just came out like a week ago too.
And they already confirmed. It's like we already got a release date. We know when the game is coming out. It's like they were like, what?
We probably get like one more trailer a week before the game release.
Yeah, but they were like, well, why did we get no Pokemon? It's like, dude, it's good. We don't need anything else. The game's coming out. like chill out. It's like you Nintendo fans are very weird when it comes to stuff like that. But we got an announcement for the next wave of DLC that's coming out for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which I'm glad about. Because I did get the expansion pass, so looking forward to that. A bunch of fucking farming simulators, and then we got Octopath Traveler 2. I'm looking forward to this game because I really did like the first Octopath Traveler. If you have not had a chance to play Octopath Traveler, I think it is on PC and Xbox Game Pass for free. If you are a fan of old pixel-based, turn-based RPGs, I highly recommend it. It is a great game to play. Those are also the same people that made Triangle Strategy, which is like still within my top 5 games of this year. Love that game, so I'm very much looking forward to Octopath Traveler 2. Looks like it's going to be good. Looks like there's a lot of gameplay improvements and stuff like that, so that's pretty cool. Also, straight off the gate, we got a release date too, and knowing them because they always kind of release like a demo version, so I'm looking to see if they get like a demo that you can play as like some of the early chapters and stuff like that. We got a lot of people were hyping this up, but we got like some Nintendo 64 titles, and then they were like, oh, you're getting GoldenEye, and it's like temper your expectations. Temper your expectations, because Switch Online sucks. And also it's like one of those things was like, we really got to stop propping up this what Nintendo does with this, like, the SNES, NES, and 64 stuff, because it's such a spit in the face, because emulation is a thing. Like, they're slowly releasing these things as if it's like some kind of grand, oh my god, like, oh the GoldenEye. It's like, dude, I'm pretty sure there's probably, obviously PC, there's probably like texture packs, performance packs. I'm pretty sure there's a mod that allows you to play on an online server for GoldenEye on PC with mods and emulation right now. So like, what you're doing isn't anything special. It's nothing big. And like, why would I want to wait? Why would I want to pay you like $4 a month when I can go online and just emulate any games I want to, like any Nintendo 64 game I want to, any SNES game I want to, any NES game, and then you got mod supports and all these other stuff. Like, it's like stop hyping up this service, bro. It's not like that. It never has been. But we also got Pikmin 4, so people who are interested in the Pikmin series.
Hey, I'm copy. I never got to play a Pikmin game. I'm copy. So nobody say.
I played. I think it was 3. That was the one that came on the Wii U. Or no, it was the one on the GameCube. So I think it was like 2 or something. But yeah, the Pikmin games are pretty cool. It's like a nice little kind of relaxing collectible type game. But it was kind of funny that man almost trolled y'all Pikmin fans when he was like, "That we got a mobile game coming out." I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Dang, that sucks." But then he was like, "Nah, we got Pikmin 4 for y'all." Bayonetta 3 got another trailer for that, which is pretty cool. Very much looking forward to that game, because Platinum Games, when it comes to Bayonetta, delivers, and Bayonetta is the waifu, so more adventures with her, I'm down for it. And then we got another, so this is a sleeper hit, because I don't know, like a lot of people, but I'm a huge fucking fan of Danganronpa. I love that series. And so the creator of Danganronpa, this game called Rain Code, which is like a new IP for them. And so I love the series. I kind of like because it's always like a mystery element. It's like type thriller type game that when it comes to like the type of games that they make. So I'm very much looking forward to the game. And it looks like if you've ever played Danganronpa or any of those like games, it's such a huge improvement to see like what this game is as far as like gameplay and just presentation alone. And I also got to get that soundtrack because that song that they played during that trailer is still stuck in my head. It's so good. And then they also announced during it, which is kind of crazy. No, I don't know if they gave it. They just said it was coming out in winter, but it's kind of crazy that we got the release date of the Crisis Core remaster during this live stream, which is going to be December 13th. Listen to when I say this. If you are a fan of the remake, if you're a fan of Final Fantasy VII Remake, you are doing yourself a disservice if you don't play this game. I'm telling you this right now. Play the game. Back before the remake came out, and I know I might ruffle some feathers, but I always thought the original Final Fantasy VII was mid. Like there was really nothing stand out about like Final Fantasy VII to me when I played it. Like this is back when I was doing my Final Fantasy binge and I was playing all the Final Fantasies and experiencing all of the stuff. When it came to the PlayStation trilogy, and I started off with 7, 8, and then 9. 9 is nine is still probably like even with all the recent stuff that we've gotten with Final Fantasy. It's probably still in my top. It's probably still my favorite one. To be honest, I love Final Fantasy 9. And like me playing 9, and I was like, man, this is like, I just love this like way better than 7. But Crisis Core when it came out on the PSP, shout out to my boy Aaron. He let me borrow his when I had a PSP. Love that game. Zach Fair, Zach Fair, leagues better protagonist than Cloud Strife. Leagues. Like if you played the original 7 when Cloud was like super fucking broody and shit like that, when you played as Zach Fair, it was like, oh man, like this dude was just a breath of fresh air when it came to like kind of that era, because like the PlayStation trilogy, this is when they started to adapt this like gotta have a broody main character, like my life sucks and stuff like that, which is why I like 9, because Zidane, who's the main character of Final Fantasy 9, he was like a playboy, like flirtatious, like he didn't take anything seriously type character, and I like that. But Zach Fair's, he's not like Zidane, but he's definitely like he's a really great character. So you'll get to see, and obviously if you care about the overall story and lore of Final Fantasy 7 and the remake, then they explain a lot of stuff that happens prior to the events of 7, and also stuff that is gonna actually gonna make a lot of stuff with remake part 2, which is Rebirth, is gonna make a lot of stuff make sense from that angle, especially when it comes to Cloud's character. Like if you like Cloud's character, playing a Reunion is going to be very paramount to you understanding his character, because without Zach Fair, there's no Cloud Strife, and I mean that literally. So yeah, so that's, I mean, everything else is kind of like but I mean, was there anything that stood out to you, Pedro, that you wanted to talk about?
On that side, the only thing that you didn't think about, I mean, the only thing you talk about probably say for last, Zelda, I guess.
Oh yeah, Zelda.
You know that little indie game, right?
Yeah, that
there,
little
Zelda,
yeah. But you Zelda, it was kind of funny though, because I did not expect them to bring Zelda into this. I wasn't expecting that at all. But hey, shout out to y'all, Breath of the Wild. Well, it's Tears of the Kingdom now. It's not Breath of the Wild 2. But you know, we got a release date May 23rd, 2023. So hey, I mean, the game, the little teaser that they showed, it looks decent. So I'm very much I'm looking forward to it, because I like the original Breath of the Wild. It was a great game, in my top 3 Zelda games of all time. So hopefully this game delivers as far as a continuation of the story, which rarely happens, by the way, in Zelda games. Like Zelda games is usually like a one and done in this set world and lore of the convoluted mess that is the Zelda timeline. You rarely get like sequel games. Like I know there was like Ocarina of Time, then you had Majora's Mask. There was the GameCube. There was like the Wind Waker. Then you had one. on the DS, like Spirit Tracks and something else. Like those games got like 3 games in a row, which is crazy. But like you don't usually typically get like sequel Zelda games in that fashion. Yeah. Also, there was like I forgot who I heard this from. There was a really bad take that I want to talk about. That somebody was saying something about like how like Tears of the Kingdom is not gonna do good because of Genshin Impact. And I'm like, whoa! And I'm just like, what? Because yeah, like we know that when Genshin Impact came out, people were talking about like it's like Breath of the Wild clone, blah 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 blah, and people are like, well, now that Genshin has all this content and it's free content and blah 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 blah, like Zelda has to come out swinging. It's like, no, it doesn't. It's fucking Zelda. Like, it is, the funny thing is that you're comparing 2 different products. Yes, they might have similar gameplays, but they're 2 different products within that space. One is a one-time release $60 game that may have a $30 expansion pack, and one is a continuous live service free-to-play gacha game. So
somebody wilding.
So
somebody wrote that one. Wow.
I don't know where I heard it, but it's like I heard some people talking about it. It was like, what the hell are y'all like? Genshin Impact has to continue to supply you guys with free content continuously in order for you to keep going to the game, because that's what a live service game does. Because if there's nobody playing the game gets shut down because it doesn't have a steady player base. It's not making money from that revenue, and so it gets shut down. So obviously it has to continue to make updates. But Zelda is a one-time purchase $60 game with a $30 expansion pack that you'll get some content later on. But what you get in them $60 is it. So like there is a huge difference between that and a live service game like Genshin.
somebody thought they had a take on their hands. Like, look, y'all ain't gonna be prepared to hear this one.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Zelda, it's gonna fail. It's gonna fail because Genshin has so much free content.
Some people probably bought a Switch just to play Zelda, my nigga. People gotta realize some people buy consoles for one game. Some people buy This is why and this is a beautiful segue. This is why Sony do not want that merger to happen. It's because there are people who purchase our PlayStation to play COD. There are people who purchase a PlayStation or an Xbox to play COD, and that's it. Like literally, there are people who only get on, play COD for 2 hours and get off. Their PlayStations are literally COD machines.
Yeah. I was that nigga. Literally, I brought the PSP. When I bought the PSP specifically for Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. I bought that system just to play that one game. Obviously, I bought other games, but the original reason why I bought that game was to play that 3DS. I bought the 3DS because I wanted to play Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. I was like, this game is coming out on the 3DS. I want to fucking play it. So there are people who like are not gonna.
People have Switches just for the next iteration of Pokemon. Like it's people who play. So don't trust me. For you Genshin Impact niggas to willingly giving money to somebody who don't care about you, trust me, it ain't gonna be the same thing for people who a beloved franchise with multiple games in the top 100 list of greatest games of all time.
Like, yeah,
top selling games of all time. Like, yeah, okay.
And then if you're talking about from a profits margin, like, because people are like, well, it's not gonna make as much money as Genshin. No fucking shit. Literally no shit. You're again a gotcha game where it is literally fucking you in the ass when it comes to rates and spending money on banners of like I forgot what the company is. A Tencent. Like that game like Genshin Impact is a multi-billion-dollar game at this point.
Ain't Tencent like a Chinese company?
Yeah, Tencent is the Chinese company that owns like Genshin Impact and a bunch of other stuff. I think it's like I think the people who developed it is like MiHoYo or something like that. But Genshin Impact, as far as revenue, has made billions of dollars at this point. Like, and they still generate constant money because of the way the game is designed. So yeah, when Zelda comes out, I don't think it's gonna make billions of dollars off rip like Genshin. two different games. So like I just don't understand. I said like is it like just the Zelda hate because Genshin Impact was compared to Breath of the Wild when it first came out? So people, Genshin Impact fans are like, no, now we're in a better position than Breath of the Wild. It's like, I don't know, it's just some weird shit. Like it's just weird that conversation happened. But as far as the direct as a whole, to wrap this up, really great. I definitely we'll talk about this with the Sony stuff, but like I know for me and Daytro particularly, you know, we're not broke, so we own both PlayStation and Switch, so we're eating when it comes to announcements on both sides. For you corny ass niggas who are still on this console war shit, so like all you Sony fans who are hating on the Nintendo Direct because it's Nintendo, or you Nintendo fans who are hating on the Sony Direct because it's Sony, it's like we are eating because we're getting great games on both platforms to play. So I don't know, like please stop this corny shit, bro. Like stop, just because it's a different console, just play games, bro. Come on. Just play games.